and welcome to my channel. Today we are back on Forza Horizon 4. Here is the brand new festival playlist that came out last week. It's taken a lot of effort, but I've managed to complete every single event and gain 100% through the seasonal festival playlist. Which means I have unlocked the Ford Mustang Spec 5 and the Porsche 914-6. I've got to say, I don't like this new festival playlist feature. I think it's destroyed the game. It really has destroyed the game, because now I've had to play this game every single day since last week to actually do this, because I've never played online before, so I had to go and then pay £40 to go and buy online, which is a disgrace, having to pay £40 on top of my £80 that I spent on the game in the first place. And then to go online to do something that I hate doing, which is going online in the first place, to complete the online adventures and the this one here, the playground games. So I find that quite offensive, the way how I've had my hands tired and I've had to go and play online and pay £40 in the process. I really just don't like that. They're trying to say they want to create a Forza that you want to play, but this is not how I want to play Forza. I don't want to play Forza like this. I don't want to have to go online. You're forced to go online and forced to do daily challenges, forced to go and do co-op racing. I don't want to do it. If they made the percentages of winning the cars a little bit less, that would have been a lot better. For a start, maybe swapping the Porsche and the Mustang round. I thought that would have made a bit more sense. Maybe making the Mustang a harder car to get than the Porsche. Considering I think the Mustang's going to be a faster car than the Porsche, but I like the Porsche better, and I'll explain that later. But I would say that 50% needs to be dragged down to 25%, maybe even 15%, and then 100% needs to be way down to 50%, maybe even 25%, because a lot of this is a lot of effort. It took me a lot of hours to unlock this Porsche. I've only just unlocked it 10 minutes ago, and this came out last Thursday, which is 6 days ago. So it's taken a lot of effort to do this, and I'm sorry, Turn 10, you've spoiled your game. You really have spoiled your game, or Playground Games, whoever you are. You've spoiled your own game. Anyway, so now I've gone through that hellish time and got this completed. I've even been unwell today, and I've still had to go on here to go and do the daily challenge so I can win this Porsche before the thing expires, before the daily challenge expires. So me being unwell now have to go on this. I know I'm unwell and I'm doing a video, but I want to do this video since I haven't done anything for the last week. Anyway, so that's the festival playlist. I've unlocked them 2 cars. Let's check out what we've got on the Forzathon shop. So, the Forzathon shop. 2 interesting cars, actually. We've got the 1931 Bentley 8 litre, which I think is kind of a pointless thing to get this one, as I think you win that car from doing the British Racing Green Story mode. So I'd rather do that and win the car for free rather than spending 650 Forzathon points, as that's quite a lot of Forzathon points. Then there's the next reward over here, which is the 2010 VW Golf R. Now, this is a good car. That is the 2010 one, which is a wheelspin exclusive vehicle, so I would buy that if I was you. 750 Forzathon points is quite expensive again, but yeah, I would do it because it's a wheelspin exclusive, and wheelspin cars aren't exactly easy to get. So there's that. So there's those rewards. So let's go and check out the Forzathon shop rewards. First of all, let's go and check out the Mustang. I still don't see why this Mustang was added into the game, because technically you could make that a body kit to this Mustang, the same as the Bertie design. You can actually make it sort of like a body kit. I know the power is different, and there's a big power difference, because that's like 778, that's 780, and that's 835. But between these two, there's only like a two skill point, power point more than that. So I don't know. I think this would have been better as a body kit, and just add in those 2 more. That's power points on top. So yeah, that's what annoys me about a lot of this stuff that's coming out in this game. For a start, we haven't actually received a DLC pack, which means we are only getting maybe 4 to 8 cars a month, which isn't exactly a lot. It would be nice if we'd got a DLC pack as well as this. Otherwise, we're not going to get barely any cars in the games soon. We're not really going to get a lot of DLC cars. Especially, it annoys me the most when it's all repetitive content like this. If I just go and change the colour of it first of all, if you can change the colour. As I was saying, this is a bit repetitive because again, it's another 2018 Mustang. We've already got 2 of them in the game already, and now here's a 3rd one. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the colours. So we've got one in red, we've got one in white, we've got one in black, and one in a slightly lighter black, approaching a grey, which I quite like it in grey, so I think I'll go for it in that. So as I was saying, I just think that we're now suffering from a lot of filler content again. Now, even if you think about it, some of the new stuff that's coming out and what has come out in the past has already been in Forza games before. The Porsche, for example, for this week, that's been in the Forza game before. Why they took it out and they made it like a rehashed DLC? They should have been in the game in the first place. So that's what irritates me a little bit about this content we're getting lately, is the fact that it's just a little bit bland, if you get what I mean. And the fact that we're not getting anything brand new. I don't want anything crazy. I don't want any more like Hot Wheels cars or any hooligan cars, anything like that. I'd want normal production cars, but more of them. If you know, I would like to see a lot more retro classic cars, retro modern classics, like the E55 AMG Mercedes, the COS 55 AMG Mercedes, the S-Type R, the Jensen Interceptor's been an old classic. The Triumph Stag. If you haven't seen my 200 car wish list, then obviously they're the cars, 200 cars I'd like to see. Even some of the new stuff, some stuff from the Geneva Motor Show last week. That'd be really cool to see. Anyway, let's just take a look at this thing. So let's take a look at the upgrades. So this is an RTR Mustang. So RTR is like a aftermarket customization company that's made up different body components for Mustangs, as the Mustangs are popular, but the aftermarket market for it wasn't very good at all. So customization wise in this game is pretty terrible, but then again it is already a custom version of a Mustang we've already got in the game, so I'm not expecting anything dramatic going on here. Let's just go and give it a drive. I do like the fact we've actually got original dials. I do like it's not that electronic dial that the standard one has, which is really nice to see, because I don't really like the 2018 standard dial set. There we go, there's the sound. It sounds like the 2018 Mustang actually. I don't think there's anything changed there. Interior wise, it's quite nice. It's quite a nice place to be inside here. It's I don't know whether this is a 2015 that's been upgraded to a 2018 somehow, because unless there's an option, oh, not paying attention. Unless it was like a manufacturer option to change the dials to electronic dial, and then having a standard dial like this. So I quite like them, they're quite neat. I quite like the flappy paddles as well on the steering wheel, they look really cool. The same can't be said about the outside though. Not my favourite kind of design. But nevertheless, it doesn't feel very fast. It feels exactly the same as the 2018 Mustang, to be honest. Bloody hell, move Forzathon. Yeah, so I was saying, it feels exactly the same as the 2018 Mustang from my memory. It sounds exactly the same, apart from the gear changes. I think the gear changes sound a bit more violent, and I seem to remember. But the grip and everything's really good. It's quite impressive. I've mangled it up a little bit, unfortunately, but that's because I'm not feeling my best at the minute. Been unwell all day. Ugh. Let's just have a quick look at the Forza Vista, because that's what I forgot to do. So we only go and change the colour, didn't we? Well, there's your 5-litre V8 that I don't think has been modified. I don't know anything about Mustang RTRs, so you can let me know down below if it's been customised or not, whether RTR's done anything with it, but I don't think so. Maybe some major minor things to increase it by a power level of 2 in the Forza Vista or the Forzathon shop or whatever. Let's just have a look around. We've seen the interior. It's quite standard, apart from the flappy paddles that look really cool, and the dials, which I like. And there's the boot with the RTR badge in the boot carpet, which is very RTR. Let's go and check out the Porsche now. One I had to spend hours on just to go and get this thing. Oh, it took forever. It took forever. I've got to say, probably the hardest part of the festival playlist was probably the co-op. That was probably the most stressful one. But the others weren't so bad. Let's just go and change the colour, then we're going to have a look at the Forza Vista again. So we've got the red, we've got orange, we've got yellow, blue, and green and blue. And then white. Not very nice colours, it's not really a particularly nice colour. I'll leave it as is, I think. Let's go and have a look at the Forza Vista. Ginormous boot. Look at the size of that. It seems rather shallow-ish, though. And I'm sure those wheel arches might get in the way in certain circumstances, but that's a massive boot. Same as this, another massive boot. But the engine is tucked away behind there, which you can't actually see very much. Let's open this up, I think you'll be able to see the engine a bit better then. There we go. Not a lot to see at all. Not a lot to see. Apart from this fact, it's got a massive 6-cylinder in there. I say it's massive, I think it's a 3-litre. So originally these came up with 4 cylinders, which I think originated from the VW Beetle. But this one's obviously got the V6, or the straight 6 I think it is. The interior is greyer than I remember in Horizon 3. I think they've gone for this grey texture again in this game for some reason. But nevertheless, it still looks quite nice. And a very narrow gearbox over there, very sort of far away and quite a small throw. Which is all very Porsche-like. No idea what that little lever is down there. I can't imagine it doing anything with the seats. No idea what it means. So there's the interior. Let's go and have a look at the customization. Upgrades and tunings. So we've got this one as expected, and then we've got this one as expected too. So customization is pretty lame on these past 2 cars, but then I wasn't expecting much in terms of the RTR Mustang. I was maybe expecting some aftermarket body kits you can put on it, but there we go. Right, let's go and give this thing a drive. It sounds alright actually. I remember in Horizon 3 the sound was a little bit too loud and a bit too raughty for a car like this, but this one's not too bad. It may be just a smidge too much, but it really isn't too bad unless you're holding up an NSX behind it. The handling's not as good as the Mustang, I've got to say that. It's got a little bit of understeer. It's either understeer or a slow steering rack, either of the two. Yeah, so when the Mustang I could actually quite go around there quite fast. You see I'm holding up that NSX, he's not particularly happy behind me. So yeah, it's not exactly a fast car, this, that's for sure. Yeah, that steering is a bit weak, to say the least. The only disadvantage I would say about the sound of it is that you can hear a bit of the DB11 sound in it, which is kind of annoying when you hear things like that, when you hear other cars mixed with cars that are completely unrelated. And this handling's horrible. It seems to look a little bit different to how I remember it in 2003. I don't know why, it seems a bit square at the back and the exhaust seems to be straight. I don't know whether I'm thinking of another car. It just seems to look a little bit different to how I remember. But nevertheless, it's a cool little car to bimble about in. I'm glad we got it back. I was a bit shocked that we lost it in the first place. I'm quite looking forward to see if they bring back the 928 Porsche, because that sounded amazing in that game. Not like it would sound amazing in this game anyway, but... yeah, the grip's not as good as it as the Mustang. So there we go. There's the Porsche. Something that I can imagine not a lot of you have now, because I've seen quite a lot on Twitter, on other people's videos, saying that you've missed the daily challenges because you didn't realise that, well, some people can't jump on the game every single day. I find it difficult to jump on the game every single day. So it's going to cause a lot of problems within the community, this Forza festival playlist. I just think that they really shouldn't have the rewards so high. Even if they do have like 100% or 75% reward, it should be a big reward, not like a rare car or something that people are going to want. Something that may be like a big chunk of money for beginner players. Because if you think about it, you want the people who are playing at the start of the game, who don't really know much about the game, to see and experience all the other events, which means they won't have a lot of money to start with. They have a lot of cars to buy, and of course they don't know much about the game. So for young sort of newer players, I should say, the festival playlist works because it gives them the opportunity to go and to know what's available and win rewards. If you say 100% and give them a big chunk of money at the end of it, maybe like 5 million, then it would be worth it for them. Maybe not for me, because I've got everything in the game now. I've got even Bamborough Castle and all the castles and everything. So for me, money's a little bit worthless in a way, but I still need it to make custom cars for when I do the co-op races in the future. Now that's going to become a thing, unfortunately. So the festival playlist, I think, has really split up the community. I don't like it at all. I hated it. I liked the idea at first when they said, "Oh yeah, you get to try everything," but I wasn't happy with the fact that you had to go online and it was 100%, because that's taken me a lot of time just to win this. Like, I know it's a Porsche and I like it a lot, but I wasn't sure whether doing maybe at least 9 hours worth of online and doing races and that was worth it. It's beginning to feel like GTA, where it would be easier to go to work, earn money, and then buy the car with a shark card than it is actually to go on the game and win the car through in-game money, because it just took so long. And this is exactly the same as what this is feeling. I don't think I would complain too much if we had a DLC pack to go with this every time. Like, if we had another 9 cars on top, I think that would be quite nice. We had like maybe 9 cars and you had an extra 8 free cars throughout the game. I think that would be quite pleasant, but of course they are not doing that. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching this video today. I feel like I'm a little bit off sorts today, but I'm a bit unwell. I've been ill all day, so I don't want to go into any details of how I was ill, but yeah, I wasn't very good today, so I'm still feeling a bit rough now. So I do apologise, but of course I have to make this video because tomorrow this whole thing will be invalid, so I have to make it today. Anyway, well, thank you very much for watching this. Hopefully I'll see you this time next week. See ya!